I want to introduce Sherry Johnson, who is a radio controls sales manager with LiftMaster. She's been there for the last 15 years. You've been involved in marketing, focusing on the radio control line, and it says a team member in many product development teams, which is pretty cool. And you're going to do a presentation on the garage door opener, safety, and safety devices. All right, well, welcome and thank you.
All right. Good morning, everybody, or actually good afternoon. I'm Sherry Johnson with LiftMaster. I'm going to start just talking about how we're teaming up with LiftMaster. Try to get a little feedback here. On safety. So safety is a big thing for LiftMaster, and we're very proud of all the different things that we are doing for our industry in safety. So actually, I need the clicker. Sorry. So what I'm going to talk today is about, I'm going to start with garage door opener safety. That's very well known in our industry. Then we're going to go into gate operator safety, which is fairly new. Some new rules that you should be aware of, changes to our gate operators, and some new accessories. Safety tools that we have available for you to help you in your businesses. And then I'm going to give you some key updates on our commercial keypads that relate to our new changes in our gate operators with the safety. And then also I'm going to give you a little bit of some new products updates on the radio controls as well. So don't chance to check it is our key message to our industry, especially it started out with our garage door safety. So 1 in 15 garages out there don't have up-to-date safety devices. That's a lot of garage doors out there that are unsafe. We don't want that. We want to make those safe for our kids and everything. So we should be looking at all the different garage doors out there when we're doing installs to make sure that we're doing everything safe, not repairing older garage door openers that don't have the safety devices. By the way, I don't know if everybody should be aware of, but it's federally mandated that photo eyes be used and properly installed for garage door openers. That's not a nice to have, that's a federal mandate, all right? So there is a safety check that helps you figure out whether or not you're safe. You're going to check the sides of the garage door to make sure that the photo eyes are properly installed. Taping them up and putting them up above your garage door opener is not properly installed. They should be 6 inches from the floor, no higher than 6 inches from the floor. You're going to test it. You're going to block the photo eye when the garage is in the downward motion. If you block the photo eyes, the door should reverse. If it doesn't, those photo eyes are not working properly. You should also keep that blocked and attempt to close the door. And if the door starts moving, then they're also not working properly. The door should not move at all if the photo eyes are blocked. That means something or someone is in the way. And then lastly, we want to check the sensing reversal system in the operator. So if we place a device on the floor, at least 1.5 inches high or more, the door should reverse on that device. So you can use a board or something, but it should reverse when it hits that before the down limit. That means there's something in the way. It recognizes that it hasn't gotten to the down limit, so something else is telling it to go back up again. So those are the safety checks that you should be doing on garage doors. Make sure all your garage door installations are following this as well. So moving on to gate safety. This is fairly new for our industry. Well, it's been around for a long time, but we're really starting to get a lot of awareness in gate safety. So as of 2003, UL 325 made a rule that we are supposed to have two basically photo eyes or some type of device that's protecting any entrapment zone. They didn't need to be monitored, they could be unmonitored, but you needed to have at least 2 devices for every entrapment zone. That has been a UL recommendation since 2003. A lot of people did not know that. And because of that, they recently made a change with the 6th edition, so that now they're going to actually make you and kind of do a more enforcement of that. So safe gate systems are everybody's responsibility. I want to make a note here. They are everybody's responsibility. Most gate safe systems out there are not safe. If you drive around town and you start looking at gate operators like I do, you will be amazed at how many of these are not installed properly. And it's the gates themselves, it's the way that they're motorized, it's the way that they're protected. You want to make sure that these are all being done in a safe manner. So ASTM F2200 is in the design of the gate entrance system, and then UL 325 is to operate the gate operators. So to be UL 325 compliant, remember 2 independent entrapment protection devices should be for every entrapment zone. So one thing that you should know and you may not know is that even though it's not federally mandated, it's the code. So International Building Code, IBC, since 2009, the Fire Code since 2009, and the International Residential Code since 2012 have adopted the UL 325 recommendations. So as of January of this year, 2016, when they made the changes to the UL 325, these codes all go into effect for the new rules of UL 325. So you need to be aware of that. So it's the code. So what are the changes? So the biggest change for you is that, and for us, it was a very big change for us, is that the internal or the entrapment protection devices now need to be monitored. So that means it's like a garage door opener now. So if something gets in the way, the gate's not going to move. All right, so it's a completely different thing now. You have to make sure it's monitored. If that entrapment protection device fails, the gate's not going to move. You're going to have to get a dealer out there to, reset it or go into the gate operator and manually move it themselves. So that's a big difference between before and now. So the big part of it is on the manufacturers. We are not allowed to make operators that don't comply with this. So our operators have to comply with this. They have to. And technically you have to comply with the manufacturer's instructions of how to install that gate operator in order to be safe. And I don't know if you've realized this, but we have a very litigious community. We like to sue people, and we don't want to see you sued. So if you're installing things properly and safely, you're less likely to run into that problem. All of the LiftMaster gate operators that we've manufactured from January forward all meet the new 2016 UL 325 standards. We have one gate operator that's coming out in the fall. And there they are. So this is our line of UL 325 compliant gate operators. Everything has recently changed. We have a brand new line of gate operators. They're all now fully monitored with the new firmware for UL 325. We've got our linear actuators, our pad mounts, and then we've got a line of new accessories to meet that monitored requirement. So things that you need to know about the difference between the old and the new is everything now has the 2016 UL 325 firmware. Everything has monitored safety inputs. If you look at that picture on the right, you'll notice that we did color coding on the terminal blocks. That's to make it easier for you to recognize where your things need to be wired. So anything that's yellow, that's safety, that's where your monitored devices are going to be wired into. Your red would be your fire department, and then your green are your just auxiliary terminals that you have for various different installations that you've got. And then we also pack the first set of photo eyes in for you, so the LMRRU. So one entrapment zone we've covered, both with our inherent reversing sensor system that's inherent to our boards, and then the second is your entrapment protection device, your external protection device. So the LMRRU, which is our retroreflective photo eyes, those are packed in every gate operator, so when you get it, you can at least get up and going. But make sure you're looking at your gate system and identifying all the different entrapment zones and protecting those zones. That's on you guys, all right? Something that you need to be aware of on our gate operators is that everything now on our boards is burgundy. I know LiftMaster's burgundy, Frank's got a burgundy shirt on today, but the reason that we went with a different color on our boards is so you can easily identify that these are UL 325 2016 compliant, and you know now that they have to have the monitored entrapment protection devices. So we've made them burgundy, so they're very visible and very easy to see when you go out and do an installation or you're fixing a service or whatever. So our DC control board and our AC control board, they're very similar. So once you learn one, it's very easy to learn the other. And these are common boards. All AC operators will use the AC board. All DC operators will use the DC board, so you don't have to learn various boards anymore. They'll all use this one. And they all use the same expansion board. Regardless of their AC or DC, you only carry one expansion board now and only have to learn one expansion board. So that's a lot nicer for you as well. Compliant accessories. I told you that we made some new ones, but we still also work with some of our existing accessories. So the new products are the retroreflective eyes. These are the eyes that are packed in every gate operator. The LMTBUs, those are your through beam eyes. So we do have a set of through beam eyes as well. And then we also have a whole set of wireless edge products. We have a transmitter and receiver, and they work with our fixed edges as well as our edge that you can buy in bulk and cut to size however you want it. So we have a whole line, and we have literature on all of our new accessories so that you can easily see what you need for your particular application. I highly recommend the bulk edges. They're very easy to use, very field cuttable, very easy to put up in the field, and you don't have to worry about all the different lengths. You just cut it to what you need. So that's my little plug for the bulk edges. And you can still use some of our existing products that you might already know and use today. So the CPS UN4s, these are monitored NEMA 4 photo eyes that we use in our market for both commercial and gate operators today. Those are part of our UL listing, so those are valid and you can use those. And as well as our CPS, RPE, and 4 GM, which are another retroreflective photo eye. Those are also listed with UL. You can only use LiftMaster monitored devices in LiftMaster operators. The UL listing has to list all of the different devices. All right? So we're here with tools. So we talked a little bit about GDO safety, talked about gate safety. Frank's going to talk to you about commercial door operator safety coming up. But what kind of tools do we have for you to help you with your business? So we've got customer checklists. These are really great for our installers. So this kind of tells you how to walk through. This one's a gate. We have them for the GDO team as well. But you can walk through the installation. It's going to ask you questions, tell you to look for certain things. You check it off whether they pass or fail. And if you've got any failures on that, you tell your homeowner or your property manager, we need to fix these things going forward. So these are really nice. This one is especially nice because if you can't remember how the rules are on the back of this, it'll tell you how to locate an entrapment zone and what you need to exactly look for. All right. We've got a GDO door hanger that talks about don't chance to check it so that you can explain to the homeowners why we need to take the photo eyes from above the garage door opener and put them back 6 inches from the floor where they should be. You want to make sure that that's installed properly. Gate entrapment measuring tool. So we came up with a really nice tool for our gate installers to determine whether it's an entrapment zone. So this one has all of the different measurements that you might need. If you go to ASTM F2200 on setting up a gate, a lot of those rules are in the ASTM F2200 standard. And you'll see 16 inches, 4 inches, 2.5 inches, or 2.25 inches, and these are all in this little thing. So this was a nice little tool. We have a Did You Know safety check fact sheet. This is for you to hand to your customers so that you can tell them this is an industry standard. This is not me trying to make money on you. You really should be fixing this gate operator or this garage door opener because did you know that this is not a safe the way that it is today. We've got counter cards for our gate safety if you want to have that if you're doing a lot of through traffic. And then we also have something that's very important. They're letter templates. If you ever run into a site that is not safe, I advise you not to work on it if they won't put it up to code to make it safe. Because if you're the last person touching it, you're the first person that's going to be sued. So even if you added a transmitter, you're the last person that touched that gate system, it's your responsibility. And in a court of law, who's the professional? You are. You're the professional, and if a homeowner says, I don't need to do that, it's okay, they're not the professional, you are, and you're going to be held responsible. So we have these letter templates that you can customize with your own logo to explain to them the safety, compliance, and why you can't work on this site. All right, and I know we don't want to lose work, but we don't want to do work that's going to cause jeopardy to our business. This is just some pictures of the checklist. You can see the GDO checklist right there as well. We also, on the gate side, we have 32 videos on our website at LiftMaster. It's www.liftmaster.com/UL325safety. And if you go to see these videos, there's a lot of troubleshooting on how to wire in a new monitored photo eye, how to do a wireless edge, how to check why something's going wrong on the board. It'll give you some troubleshooting stuff, how to install, how to do a safety checklist, make sure that you're checking everything. So this is a really good place to go and check out these videos. Most of them are anywhere between 3 and 7 minutes long, so they're not very long. You can pick and choose what you're interested in that day and check out these videos. Okay, any questions on gate safety? It's very important, it's very new. People are a little edgy about it, but it's important, all right? So what I'm gonna talk about, we introduced these keypads last year. I've got them up here. So we have a KPW5, which is the black one, and the KPW250, which is the silver one. This one's a heavier duty one, die-cast housing. So these are great commercial keypad products, but they have a new feature. So this is the great stuff that we have already. It's our Security Plus 2.0. This one is unique in that it's got backwards compatibility, and it can be set up to work with our older rolling code products, the Security Plus, but it also can be set up to work with linear multi-code 300 megahertz. So if you've got that receiver on your gate, you can install this as well. There is a new feature that was basically turned on when the new gate operators came in, and it's called constant pressure override. So if you remember, I was talking about if you have monitored photo eyes and something goes wrong, that gate's not going to move. How do you move the gate? You're going to have to open up that gate operator, and there's basically a 3-button station on the gate operator board, and then you can move the gate using that way. But as a dealer, an installer, a business owner, do we really want our homeowners and our property managers going inside the gates and messing with the boards? We really don't. So what can they do to move that gate in the event that maybe somebody took out a photo eye or the wiring got cut by the landscaper when he was mowing the lawn or whatever? With the new keypads, with our burgundy boards only, they can do constant pressure to override, so CPO. So what that means is if there's a valid keypad code programmed into that keypad, when you press the 4-digit code and then press and hold the pound button on that keypad until the gate either moves to the fully open or the fully closed, wherever it was in travel when it stopped, you can move that without opening the gate operator and getting in on that board. So constant pressure override is a safety feature for you not having your customers go in and mess around with your gate operator installations, because we really don't want them doing that. So both keypads have that ability with the burgundy boards, so that's a nice thing. I highly recommend that when you install a LiftMaster gate operator, if you think there might be an issue, a lot of landscaping around there, or people messing around, or it's got a really super high traffic, put one of these in there, program a couple of codes for your property managers or your homeowners. They can always get that gate open or closed and call you, and you can come out and fix that monitored safety device. So this is a nice, inexpensive fail-safe for you with the monitored devices. So either one will work. The KPW5 is less expensive. If you're just going to be using it as a backup, I highly recommend that you install these. So nice little backup. And then the hardware device of the fire department will also do constant pressure to override, just so you know that that's there. And then we have some new products, or a new product. So if you haven't seen this, this is our new universal mini keychain remote. You can come up and check it out later. This was just launched at our IDA show this year. It is the 374 UT. It's a really nice little keychain remote. It's a nice add-on to, customers always need an additional remote for something. We have one of these on our motorcycle keychain. You can put these on, the dog walker can have one of these so they can get in and get the dog all the time. It gives them access into the garage. But it's a nice little extra transmitter that you can sell to your customers. These are universal, so they work with most of the garage door opener companies out there today. They won't work on the old dip switch style. As you can see, this is pretty small, so the dip switch component literally does not fit inside here. So it works with anything with LEARN technology. If you go to the liftmaster.com site, you'll see all the different garage door manufacturers that we work with. This also works with commercial door operators, especially ours, and then our gate operators as well. So this is a really nice little device. It has a really cool new feature. It's called, what do they call it? Automatic code detection. So with our other universal products, you used to have to know what product that you had and then know how many presses to press the button. This one's great. You put it in program mode. You put your garage door opener in program mode. This starts shooting out signals, and when the door starts to open, because you should start with the door closed, when it starts to open, you press any button, it'll resync itself, and then it learns. So now you don't have to sit there and press the button and count how many presses. It will find out which one it belongs to and program that button. So it's really nice. And again, it's 2-button remote, and each button is independent, so I can learn each button to a different technology. So it's a really nice little transmitter available now. And then just to let everybody know, and this is very recent, so I stuck it on there so you guys are some of the first to know, the 377LM keypad, which is our Security Plus 315 megahertz keypad, has been discontinued, all right? The replacement for that, if you need to have a keypad or replace a keypad that was using a 377, would be our 877 Max, because that has backwards compatibility all the way back to 1993, so it will work with all of those operators. Or you could use our 387 LM, which is our universal that works with all the garage door openers. So those are the two options that you have, but the 377 LM has been discontinued. It just happened. So I think the bulletin's going out this week. So you get the fresh hot off the presses news. And that, I think, is all I got. Thank you.
375, the same technology as the 374, or that stay the same?
It's going to stay the same for now, but it might change. So his question was the 375 UT, which is our visor version of our universal. Is that going to get that new auto code detection? It may, but right now it's going to stay the way that it is for now. So, good question. Yes, sir? Mm-hmm. So the question is, how many doors will the 877 Max keypad work with? It'll work with 24 doors. So you can control up to 24 doors with the 877 Max in the various different technologies back to 1993, so back to billion code. The 877 LM, which is just Security Plus 2.0, can do 10,000 doors as long as they're in range.
Sherry, we're going to step back and go back to the gate safety.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question on the chat regarding if a customer does not want to comply with the gate safety standards, what is the installer to do? Is there a waiver they can sign to continue to work on it? What's your recommendation for that customer?
So that question has come up to our legal department, and our legal department has said it doesn't matter. There's no waiver out there that'll hold in court. You'll still be held liable if somebody gets hurt on that site. So unless you've got really good rock solid insurance that's got a lot of money behind it, I wouldn't work on that site. The other thing is that you need to know is if you're working on a gated community, the property manager cannot sign for the homeowners. They would have, technically, if it did get into court, every homeowner would have had to sign something for there to even start to be a leg to stand on, but you'd still be held as responsible because you are the professional. You're the expert. Anything else? All right, thank you very much.